Hey guys, first degree black belt self-defense. We're doing set number 2. So the 3 rotating curriculum for the black belts, doing set number 2. Mr. Dinkle's throwing a round motion punch. I'm sliding in with a twin knife hand block. Okay, preferably one's going to end up at the bicep, the other's going to end up at the forearms. That way I'm stopping the arm in 2 spots. Okay, it's almost like hitting a dead zone and trying to get in the nerves. Okay, from here, since I'm already on the inside, I need to move fast before he reacts with this hand. I've got this front hand, knife hand strike. So from this, I'm going to go straight into this knife hand strike, and then I'm going to rotate my body so the other hand does an inverted knife hand strike. So I'm hitting him twin knife hand block, and that strikes 1 and 2. From there, if you can see, my right hand is already wound back a bit. My left hand grabs his shoulder while my right hand comes up under his jaw, okay, to push his head back. This is the important part, is that you get them looking completely straight up at the ceiling. His spine needs to lock out in this position. I lock my fingers in down into the mid-center facial nerve, and then I want you to think about bouncing like a basketball. I'm going to take his head and bounce him on the ground like a basketball, but I got to walk away with it. I'm going all the way down. Okay? If you don't walk away as you do it, if you stand in one position and just get to here, now it's a shoving match, and you can't push him straight down. It is extremely important to do this, that you step away and push down just like you're trying to get him to sit down. So the strike comes in, I do my twin knife hand, I'm then rotating my body. Knife hand strike, inverted knife hand strike, coming back up under the chin to lock it straight up. Get your fingers into the mid-center facial nerve, and then bounce their head like a basketball as you walk away. Okay? So now for number 2, it's the same round motion idea, but this time as I'm blocking with one arm, my other arm is going to throw a vertical punch at the bicep. It's got to be vertical. Okay, if I rotate, there's a good chance that due to the rotation, I'm going to hit and slip off. When I think straight punch, I can then throw it more like a battering ram straight in. So his punch comes in, and this is only stopping him for a millisecond. I need to move before he thinks with the other hand, so I'm going to take that same elbow and come into his body. Okay, you can throw it to the chin, you can throw it to the chest to be nice to your partner, but notice what I did with my right foot at the same time. I stepped in to the inside of his foot. That's very important. I don't want to trap it, I want to be on the inside. So he throws the punch, and I've got the biceps done. I slide in with the elbow. Now my other hand is going to rotate and grab a hold of him. Once I have this elbow, I can turn my body so my arms have a hold of him like a baseball bat. I need to make sure I continue to react so he doesn't wrap around my neck. Okay, we'll do it from the other position in a minute. I kick this leg back as I rotate his body to get the takedown. Now from here, one of my favorite things to do is to take your right leg in this position. I'm going to step over top. I'm not going to let go of his wrist. I'm going to step over top and continue to rotate as I come to the ground. Okay, this forces a spiral rotation of his wrist, his elbow, and his shoulder. Okay, now we'll change spots so you guys can see the way that I'm getting the grip. Okay, when the attack comes in, there's my stun, my block, and my bicep strike. I slide in with my elbow while I get my foot into place. Guys, look the way I grab the arm like a baseball bat. I put his bicep to my shoulder. I don't go up here, because then I'm putting pressure on the neck. It's not going to work. I'm here. And I wind up this leg and kick it back as I take him down. Over top, continue your rotation. Okay. Now, for number 3, we're going to do what we call a panic block. Mr. Dinkle's going to grab me with his left arm. Okay, he's going to grab a hold of my chest like this, like he's grabbing a hold of me, and he's winding up for that punch. We call this a panic block. Okay, because for a moment you're literally going, oh no, I'm about to get hit. Okay, it also gives a nice semblance of looking like you're not ready to resist back. As his punch comes in, because we know it's coming to the face, I'm going to rotate my body out of the way and bring my arms across. Not like I'm trying to clap, but like I'm going to miss. Okay, this will get me at the wrist and the forearm. I'm not grabbing, I'm using the arms. His momentum's continuing. Very important to make sure I'm using my feet. I'm stepping backwards. I'm making him chase his own arm. Okay, that's a really important part, because what a lot of people do is they stop. He gets this, and then they go to here, and they try to muscle it to the ground. Okay, I need to use my feet so that way when he comes in, I let his momentum continue to carry him until I'm ready to take him to the ground. From here, pin the arm in whatever position you want. You can put him on the ground and run. You can put your knee in and hold back. You do whatever works for you. There is no preference. Okay? Number 4, the takedown in this position is our drop throw. The drop throw is literally the use of momentum to pull your opponent's body over yours. For a millisecond, I actually fall to the ground as I pull him over. Your preference on this is to get the lapel. If you can't get the lapel because they're not wearing something heavy, you can use the back of the head and the forearm. It's important for training purposes. If your partner knows how to do a shoulder roll, it makes it a little bit better for them. From this position, whatever leg is going to be closer, in this case it's going to be my left leg, is the leg that I'm going to kick through as I fall down on my right hip. So I'm going this way, and he's going this way. Okay, so from this position, we get a hold, I can loosen up. As I kick, I drop down and rotate his body over. Henceforth, why we call it a drop throw, because you literally have to drop to the ground. If I try to go down onto my knees, or if I just try to lay back, it doesn't work. You need that dropping momentum. Gravity works with you on this. It's a very big part of it. When we get into number 5, now it's the same side wrist grab. I'm using a lot of fast and intense striking in this case. The first thing I'm going to do once he has a hold of me, obviously I need to react quick because he's got the other hand as a weapon. So if he's pulling on me, it's almost better. It gives me a moment. I'm going to strike to his bicep, similar to like we did on number 2. Once I hit that bicep, I've got this same arm. I'm loosening his grip. I'm going to hammer fist strike him to the side of the head. So 1, 2 is going to get my grip out of there. 1, 2. From here, I'm going to follow it up right across the body with an ear clap. Obviously, when you're training with your partner, be very careful. You can damage their ear very easily. So think about it. I hit his body down. I hit him to his left. I hit him to his left. His body's starting to think about going in this direction. So now I'm going to come back in with the right elbow and turn him back in the other direction. Okay, so I think I went 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, I'm going to open the arm up and think about my forearm. Now, because of that elbow, my body rotated, it pivoted to my left. So when I come back to my right, I'm going to turn all my weight into this forearm strike, because that's what's going to end up putting them to the ground. If they're not there yet, you've got the left hand you can follow up with a punch right across the body. We'll change spots just so you can see the other side of this. He grabs my wrist and I'm coming in. Bicep, hammer. Okay, loosens me up, turn with the ear. He's rotating. I come back with my elbow, pivot back down with that forearm, and I'm going to drive him to the ground with that elbow strike. Okay, if they're still there, I've got a lot of boxing that I can use from there. That's very simple. So it's about how we rotate that body as well. So for the last one, I'm more thinking a little bit more offensively. We're in that guard position, or even if he's standing up tall and it looks like it's going to be time where I'm going to have to rely on my striking. The first thing I'm going to do is kind of like an old ninjutsu trick. I'm going to fake out toward his eyes. I'm going to bring my hands up. So number 1, I'm protecting me, so even if he comes in, I'm here. And I'm going to drive out and forward toward his eyes, forcing him to react. When I throw this and he starts to react, when he starts to bring his hands up, I'm already in this position. I'm going to take my lead leg, and I'm going to throw a round kick. Now in this position, since we're in a closed guard, he's got his left foot forward, I have my left foot forward, my target area preference is going to be the femoral artery, the inside of the thigh. If his legs were switched, I've got the sciatic, I can try and just buckle the knee. Okay, so I have this fake followed by my strike to start to bring him down. Once I've got that momentum, I've got that reverse punch coming forward. I'm going to grab a hold of him and knee strike, and then I'm going to try and dog him to the ground, which means I'm going to use his head, driving it down lower than my body to bring him to the ground. I want to get on top of him from this point, where I really do have a clear shot on some knees. That's a very deadly knee, so you want to be very careful with that, or make sure you're justified in the strike. You can even just throw it into the shoulders. I can come up, I can strike on his head, and I can get out of dodge. Okay, so just one more time in its completion. When I think about, I fake up and I strike. I continue to hit. Now in this position, because I want him to come forward, my front knee can even be used here because it's already going to start to drive him this way. My back knee might drive him back a little bit more. So keep that in mind. I can use the front knee. I dog him down into the ground forward. I've got my knee strikes. I've got hitting here, mashing, up, strike, and get out. Okay, so that is first degree black belt self-defense set number 2.